Kyle Pukasukovic, here with the winner of our last round, Ross Cawthon, two-time Worlds finalist. You've won a lot of regional championships. How do you feel after this round 2 win?
It's great to get a win. Starting 2-0, it's a long day. Every win's important. 360-something players. Every game is huge. So far, so good.
9 rounds, yeah, it's going to be a pretty long tournament.
Yeah.
But let's get to the question on everyone's mind. Executor, how do you come up with that?
You know, I've always liked lock decks. The Truth was kind of a lock deck.
Right.
I played a Gothatel lock deck at Worlds years ago. I've always liked just that concept of controlling the whole game, and just like nothing much can happen when you have that kind of control. So Executor has really been something I've looked at since it came out, but
Sure.
it just never worked before. And really the card, I tried a list like this last summer, but would just run out of resources, and eventually they would catch up. And the card that really makes this work is Trump card.
Right.
So that I now have effectively infinite resources that I keep drawing through, that while my opponent can't draw through. Without Trump card, the deck's unplayable.
Yeah, not just the Trump card, even the VS Seeker has to be a huge help.
For sure. But yeah, I think VS Seeker alone wouldn't be enough.
Right.
It's the Trump card mainly.
Yeah, I would say that too. Trump card makes this deck completely different.
Exactly.
Now, when you saw you were facing a Landorus Crobat deck against your 30 HP Execute,
Yeah.
were you worried at all?
Well, you know, I had tested that matchup a lot. I actually tested that a lot this week because I kind of heard that deck had gotten popular. My friends were saying it was being played a lot on PTCGO.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, that just as you said, like Landorus does 30 to the bench, Crobat does 30, my basics are 30. This seems very bad, but I had to go and test it, kind of learn the matchup after a few games, and really it wasn't that bad. I have the options. Mr. Mime is a huge option, and really once I get the supporter lock and Mr. Mime, their deck is very just average at that point, and I can kind of play my normal game as I eventually got to do in both those games. He got down close in prizes game 2,
Yeah.
but I pretty much run him out of resources anyways.
Now let's talk about your engine for the deck. It's extremely unusual. I mean, it's just pretty much Juniper, and that's it. How did you come to that conclusion that I'm not going to play N?
Yeah, that's one thing some of my friends and I learned last summer when we were testing the deck, and I was reading some messages I had with a friend about when we were testing this last summer, and one of the observations was like N is often very bad because you kind of want to make them play out all their energy, hammer away their energy hopefully, and then once they're out of energy, you don't want to give them a fresh hand.
Right.
Sometimes an N would be useful, that's for sure, but it's a risky play in some sense. Like if they have a hand I really want to N, I can't really do that.
Sure.
But overall consistency, not being forced to play an N when you really don't want to give them fresh cards, that's like the last thing you want to do. It's just more consistent, I think, just have the Juniper.
Yeah, I mean, that takes a lot of guts to make decisions like that, but hey, you've have a pretty good track record of making some gutsy calls.
Well, thank you.
Also, I saw no Lysander, you decided to go with a Genesect and Plasma Energy route. Was that just another conscious decision for the random receiver kind of thing?
Yeah, I think if you play the Lysander, I probably can't run the just receiver Juniper engine. And I'm a big fan of non-supporter effects. I mean, Lysander is a great card, but it's nice if you can get the gust effect and draw that turn.
Sure.
And the Genesect allows me to do that. I often have the energy attachments to use it effectively. I can Juniper, I can get a gust and a hammer, a gust and a laser. So the deck has good synergy. You could make other choices, different supporter draw, maybe you'd play Lysander. But the way I've constructed it has good synergy, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, everything looks to make sense.
Yeah, I've been testing this for a month, so I've been thinking about it a lot. Excited to see how it does today.
Yeah. Now, are there any decks you are scared to face? Any bad matchups you have in mind?
Really, no. I mean, there are close matchups. Frisian Genesect is very difficult, but it's pretty even. I've tested against that a lot. No matchup really scares me that much, but this kind of deck with the kind of draw engine it has, it can be itself sometimes.
Sure.
So, I don't think I'm just gonna like wipe the floor and go undefeated or anything, because I'm gonna have some bad games, and hopefully I can recover from them. Maybe win the 2 out of 3. But if any single matchup, I'm pretty comfortable against everything.
All right. Well, what are your expectations for the event then?
Hey, I want to win the regionals. That's why I came here.
Of course.
I'm hoping to get that top 16 points to make day 2 of Worlds. Becoming world champion is my #1 goal, so that would increase the odds. So a regionals win would help a lot. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Ross. Well, thanks for taking the time to sit with us. We're excited to see how you progress through the tournament. Definitely an interesting deck. It'll be fun to watch. So congratulations on your win. Good luck.
Thank you, Kyle.